going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Smoke and Mirrors Podcast. I'm Nick, and this is
Zach. What's up?
Glad to have y'all back with us today. Sorry we've been out for a little bit. We had the weekend before 4th of July, and we went tubing up in Helen, Georgia, and camped
Awesome
out.
time.
It was a good time. It had some ups and downs to it, weather,
it was crazy as hell.
heat,
Dude.
all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, we were hot and then freezing and then covering up with shit and then waiting for a tornado.
Yep.
And then it was sunny again. And the cars up on the top of the hill weren't even wet. So that was crazy. Then we went to camp and there was a tornado at camp right as we pull in. And I mean a tornado. Tents are in the air, the fireplace is gone, everything.
Tarps just...
Yeah, it was crazy. It was an emotional event for about, one of the tents flooded. Like, we were lucky everywhere else. It's a small one.
Yep.
But it was fun. Big experience, good experience. No bears, so we were good,
Yeah. Oh, speaking of bears, did you see the video of the bear crossing the river on that part of the river up there?
No.
On people in the tubes we
I'm
were
glad
in?
I didn't see that,
Dude,
dude.
big old bear just crossing the river. Didn't fuck with anybody, but like,
I'm going across. I'll see you guys later.
I saw that yesterday or today, and I was like, what the hell? I was like, that'd be crazy as shit to see.
You know what I mean?
Anything can happen, exactly.
But it was awesome. It was still a good trip.
So, y'all, sorry it's been a little bit. All four of you, as Zach would say.
all both of you guys that are listening, tell your sisters and brothers and cousins, anybody who cares,
Anyone around you, man, get them to subscribe.
Love,
get them
people
to
are all
check us
on
out.
YouTube all goddamn day. There's billions of people over here. Like, look, we're gonna have to translate this in foreign languages and try to get some other love because we're not getting it here right now. So
yeah, we're trying.
But the ones of you that are subscribed, appreciate
hit that
you. We
subscribe
love you.
button.
You guys are awesome.
Thank y'all so much, and those of y'all that keep up with us, man, we appreciate it very much. Help us get it out there some more. Everyone else, if you could, man, hit that subscribe button. Check out more of our videos.
I'm gonna try to go on Theo Vaughn or have him here, so we'll work some shit out with the Joe Rogan group and see if we can't get some love from them.
It'd be awesome, man.
Yeah.
We really need to hit 50 subscribers so we can go live here and there, chat with y'all, see what things y'all would like to see us doing and things like that.
Man, I got more than 50 people that I know.
I know, right? But getting them to take the time to...
Our family's like 15 deep. We don't even have that many, Most of our friends are the ones who are really doing it. But nonetheless, man, I think that'll change later. It doesn't matter.
We do this for fun.
Yeah,
the only reason why we do this is for fun. So we know people say, oh, release a video every so many days or do this. We do this for fun.
This ain't a job.
The more you guys get into it out there, the more it's going to encourage us to want to produce more content. We're going to do that We're going to do our best to do that regardless. But, all that helps encourage us and all that even more because we do have families and stuff like that. And
we got little windows, not very big.
Yeah. So we can take up time here and there, but we need some encouragement, man. Help us out. Hit that button down there.
Give us a reason.
So our last episode, man, was on the Titan sub. There for like 4 days.
Oh, yeah.
That's what all anybody was talking about. So we decided to discuss it because it was everywhere, and we thought it was a little bit weird that everyone was so concerned about a bunch of billionaires that signed a waiver that pretty much said you're going to die, and everybody was so concerned about this. And I got to thinking, man, I was like, man, what the heck was going on during that 4 days while everybody was paying attention to this sub, myself included in that guilty bunch. And so first I come across this. I want to let y'all know. So this is on a few articles. This is always simple to find, guys. But the U.S. Navy detected an anomaly on Sunday morning, which was likely the sound of the fatal Titan implosion. This was heard on an acoustic detection system in the Atlantic Ocean. So pretty much what I heard, what I got from these reports was that pretty much the Navy knew about the fact that was probably what they heard because they knew about that sub going down. And so I don't know, man. That could all be whatever. These are just what the reports are saying. I'm just basing what I think of,
Yeah, man. I don't know. They heard something in the ocean, and they probably were like, "Well, we don't know what that is." Like it could have been a whale dying. Like I don't know. Maybe they knew it was something.
We don't even know everything at the bottom of the ocean.
But also equally, it was like they sent a tin can, like an aluminum can down there.
Yeah.
And our Navy picked it up. Our Navy can pick up like the sound of a whale fart.
Yeah.
So they heard it, But
Okay.
they recognizing what it was and if it was natural or not, like they
Yes.
weren't going to put a lot of effort into that, I'm sure. I mean, like it's just a bunch of billionaires. It was like,
Yep.
but it is kind of funny.
On those things, like I got to thinking, seeing these articles about that right there, and about how it looked like, you know, they might have known
kinda
about this
known
on
early
Sunday.
enough, yeah.
It got me curious. I was like, man, I already felt like before we did that video that there was something just weird about how this was being pushed so hardcore everywhere. It was everywhere you looked about the sub. And I was already thinking, like, what was I being distracted from? Next thing I know, I come across this one video where a person breaks down a few of these things I'm going to bring up. And a lot of them I knew about, I had already known about, but a couple of them I didn't know about. And I was like, man, let me go investigate this, see what they talk about. Lo and behold, half this stuff's true. Now, the truth of how they put it is, you know, how articles can be no matter who writes them. So we can't help that. We just kind of grab from everybody and just give our opinion on what it says, you know. So our first one is going to be Jeffrey Morgan was supposed to release these emails, and now they've mistakenly deleted permanently 47 million emails. And supposedly some of these are tied to Jeffrey Epstein and that whole thing that went on. So I'm going to go ahead and read part of this article just to go ahead and let everybody hear a little part of it, all right? So the bank was fined $4 million by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission after about 47 million emails belonging to its retail banking group were mistakenly and permanently deleted, according to Reuters. J.P. Morgan's latest scandal is taking retail investors back to when TD Ameritrade's Bartlett warehouse mysteriously burned down after the SEC announced 60 hedge funds were to undergo investigations for manipulative short selling. So I know that they did go through a bunch of stuff that had to do with Epstein, and I know that they had some other stuff a couple years ago where they had to pay like hundreds of millions of dollars. So I look at the $4 million as like nothing when we're talking about someone as big as the Morgan family.
Yeah, I mean, they're writing it off as like, okay, we do a purge of all our records every specific amount of years because we have too many, right? So it was an oversight that you guys are doing an investigation between these years that got into the dump.
Yeah.
Sorry, here's $4 million, you know, keep your ass moving and we'll
call
get
it
away
a conspiracy,
with
but it is what it is. There's nothing anybody can do about it. We all know how this game goes.
So,
We've watched it for years.
Are you trying to allude to that the media was somehow like, you know,
dude, I don't know.
Propagandizing the submarine to like make these stories less important or less like hot?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't put it past them because of things that they have done and we've already caught them doing and things like that. Everyone's seen the video where it shows all of them talking about it's a threat to our democracy, and they're all reading from the same script and all the little bubbles pop up and stuff.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
We are concerned about trouble and trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these things simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 So we've all seen that. We know what they do. By the way, it is a constitutional republic. We are not a democracy. We have democracy, like certain tendencies to us, but we are a constitutional republic. And I feel like that's manipulation, trying to like dig this into people's head.
Corporate business runs our society.
Yeah, pretty much.
America.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like it's it doesn't have to be quote unquote the Illuminati or an organized event. Money is in a capitalistic society drives everything, and big corporations have the money because we willingly give them our money.
Yep.
Like, here, take my money. I'm gonna buy all this crap from you, and we were happy about doing it.
All the big retailers.
So they are actually who we're voting into office, right? We're voting by what you buy and who you support and what stocks you choose to purchase.
Because we definitely ain't buying and supporting and getting behind mom and pop shops like we used to back in the day. I mean, sure.
Some neighborhoods and some communities are like, yeah, we definitely want to not have Walmart and not have this, right?
Yep.
And then you look at like, okay, this is a good example. I had a person that I know. We were having this conversation, and they live out in Jefferson. And 10 years ago in Jefferson, they were trying to put a Walmart, and they like resisted it.
Yeah.
Walmart bought all the land, bought all the housing in this area. They bought all the farm. They bought all the housing in the neighborhoods. They were letting people have plenty of time to relocate. It wasn't any kind of like press. It was just, we're buying up everything, and that's what they did. And then they were like, no, we don't want Walmart here. No. They were fighting it back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Now, the small town carries a lot, like a hardware store and like, a craft store and like all these different shops that equal Walmart, right?
Yep.
It's just spread out across the town in different little shops.
Yep, the little mom and pop shops.
The people in the town are saying, we want to keep our mom and pops. We don't want Walmart to drive out the mom and pop, blah, 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 right? Awesome. Understand. Totally get that concept.
Yep.
Then the entire neighborhood, everybody in that community gets up at Christmas time and leaves the community to go to Walmart in another city and buy all this same shit that they're not buying at mom and pop stores.
Because Americans will drive 2 hours just go have a good time, 3 hours just go have a good time,
well,
man.
No, I mean, like if
we're going to drive 15, 20 minutes to go get groceries at one
Walmart
place.
And you can pick up groceries and every fucking thing else you need, right? Then you're going for that, right? So then it's like, okay, so what was the real problem? The real problem was your traffic's going to increase because people from other areas now will come to your area for the Walmart that's not near them.
Yep.
But you're not saving the little store. The little store guy is still struggling because you still don't go and spend the extra $1
right
at his store because his wood is $1 more expensive than Home Depot. Fuck that guy. You know what I'm saying? And he might have some specialty stuff, but not always have everything you need. And if you got to go to these other stores anyway, it's kind of like, well, now you're hurting your community's tax money and all this other stuff by trying to pretend that you don't want to live in a big, corporate fucking area.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, well, you're full of shit because you still want, guess who took the land? They sold it to Publix, who put a shopping plaza in.
It still happened anyways, in a sense, just in a different way.
It's just now wrapped in Publix instead of wrapped in blue. It's wrapped in green, and we call it good, and put it right across the street from a Kroger. So all you're going to do then is expand outward in that area with your shops and your other stuff. So what's happening is the city council and everybody else is like, yeah, it's okay not to have them now, but 5 years from now, you people may not even live here anymore, and then that's it.
Very true.
So the small towns do die in that sense.
Yep.
Right? But it's like it is part of their community not paying attention to those things too. So the media has some kind of grip on that, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But equally, if we watch the shit, dude, everybody cared about that. We did a podcast about something we could care less about just because everybody else cared.
Yeah.
So we dug a little deep into it, right? So we're also victim to it of, like, nobody gave a shit about the Epstein thing. It's like, he's dead, fuck this guy, we don't want to know. We know we're not going to know. Everybody's, like, already confirmed, like, we're not going to know.
Yeah.
Like, they're covering whatever they're covering.
But we dig into things that we're not even, because we want to, like... we want to give you our opinions on things. That's the reason why. What's the point of the podcast?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We decided to do it because it was so popular for everybody.
And it lets us know things we didn't know.
Yeah.
We learned things we didn't know.
And we dug into it a little more, right?
Yep.
But what I mean is that, you know, if everybody's paying attention to that thing, then that's what everybody's going to sell because they're all selling something.
Very true.
You know, there's not a single news broadcast that I've seen in the last 5 years minimum that doesn't have a plethora of medicine commercials that go with every freaking one of them.
Right.
It's like this Pfizer, this and this, and it's just like, who are they selling this to, dude?
Yeah.
They're selling it to the 800,000 doctors in the fucking country. No, they're not, dude. They're trying to get me to go tell my doctor to give me this stuff.
Right.
Like, I don't understand.
They look at us like, you're not
to.
a doctor. Why are you asking me what you should?
Like, they obviously don't need the commercial. Is all I'm saying. The doctor tells you what you're going to take, and you take it, not because of some.
I think the commercials are just for the doctors to see when they're off work,
or maybe to have you ask for more drugs.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean. Like the ones that are like, oh, if you're on this, or this, add this to it, and it'll get you high as fuck.
True. All right, so
anyway.
Another thing that was going on, and I really just want to brush past this because this is something that just turned into a long conversation that honestly I don't feel like getting into today.
Yeah.
But that's House reps are trying to impeach Biden. The reason why I don't really want to get in this conversation is because I'm going to be honest with y'all, it seems like every single president we have goes through this same thing for some reason,
yes, Clinton,
and it's always like this, and it's whoever doesn't like that president is going to be tripping on this side saying they need to be impeached, and whoever does is going to be like, this is stupid. These are and that's just.
It just speaks to how far the sides go, dude. On both
it
ends.
does. And
both ends, they're fucking so far out of the realm, dude.
That's where I'm at, and that's what me and you try to preach to everybody.
Man.
Guys, we're the ones that are right here in the middle that are really just like the government as a whole is fucking us, and we got to handle that as a community and as a as a republic as we are, and as the citizens, I feel like it's going to take us to fix this, and we keep thinking voting's going to fix it, and I just don't think it's that simple.
Yeah, what is it going to do, man?
I don't know.
Okay, kick him
because
out.
it'll eventually just end up being the same thing again.
Kamala Harris is the president. That's what you want.
Right, yeah. We're going to get to her in a little bit. You already know that's coming. I can't wait to get to that.
Like, come on, man. Like, you know.
That's who would be president if Biden's gone. Yeah.
Get rid of her.
Yeah.
How do we get rid of her? Yeah. We're going to make the fucking Speaker of the House the goddamn president. That's what we're going to do.
So guys, in the down in the bio of this video, I'm gonna put the link so you can watch the tracker if you feel like keeping up with that. It's from from the government's website to where you can keep up the tracker of that if you want to. So the next thing is this: the Pentagon gave $6.2 billion to Ukraine due to an accounting error. This one kind of cracks me up because
what?
It cracks me up a little bit because of the way that I seen so many articles about this and the way it was twisted, and this is from the Associated Press. What I'm gonna read a little bit of.
No, dude, let me hold on, man. Hold on a second, because this is serious business, dude. $6.2 billion.
Yeah, I get the number right there. By itself.
Like, okay, no, but hear what I'm trying to get at. This is all I'm saying.
Accounting error.
No, yeah. What? No, dude. $6.2 billion is a very large amount. It's not a small number.
I hear you,
and I don't know how you could miscalculate $6.2 billion and still have any kind of like that guy's fired. Whoever's job that was should have got fired.
That's the way articles are headed. All right, over this. This is what people are pointing out. This is what they're selling. They're going to give you what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the headline right there. Now, let me read you an article from the Associated Press. Now, I'm going to tell you the articles are quite different how they word these, but it is what it is. This is the Associated Press. Now, they word it, and it sounds a lot more to the point, okay? The Pentagon said Tuesday that it overestimated the value of the weapons it has sent to Ukraine by $6.2 billion over the past 2 years, about double early estimates, resulting in a surplus that would be used for future security packages. Pentagon spokeswoman Sabrina Sy said and detailed review of the accounting error found that the military service used replacement cost rather than the book value of the equipment that was pulled from the Pentagon stocks and sent to Ukraine. She said financially, calculations show that there was an error of $3.6 billion in the current fiscal year and $2.6 billion in 2022 fiscal year, which ends last September. Now, do you see the complete change of how that sounds?
Well, no, because that's not what it is. That's not. They didn't.
It's different. That's different from what the headline. Yes.
Well, no, the story is actually just that the Pentagon failed to guesstimate properly the cost of the sum of the shit we sent them to blow up.
Yes.
Like, here's all our old stuff. Take this stuff. Like Soviet era stuff, we got to give you because you can use it. All right, you blew all that shit up. All right, well, hey, oh wait a minute, it was worth $6.2 billion more than we thought.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, well,
versus the Pentagon
giving away
Ukraine $6.2, and the way that headline shows.
And that's the way all of these are.
I know that's what we're trying to point out to people.
Yeah, 100%. I pay attention.
Is that it doesn't? And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter who you pull it from. Pull it from Fox, CNN, dude. I'm telling you, they do it in all of them.
Right. We've talked about that too, where it's kind of like, they bounce this shit, and they're like, if you listen to 4 different news, I don't care if it's CNN, MSNBC, you can do it all on one side if that's the way you feel. Okay? Yeah. I don't care. But if you take 4 different news articles of the same story and you just pick out the 4 or 5 truths that all of those stories say. All of them say this little bit of information. It's like a paragraph of information that is exactly the same information in these 4 stories. That's the truth. The rest of it is just somebody's depiction or thoughts or opinion or made up bullshit that goes along, like deep thought into the process that it takes to do blah, 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 blah. Like, you hear them all the time, dude. There's analysts on every single thing that you can think about. Yep. Like, what? How do you get to be an analyst of, like, losing $6.3 billion as the government? Oh, well, when we break all that down, that's really nothing. One time it was told to me,
not compared to the $100 billion they've already straight up gave them.
One time that they would not be able to account for every cent spent in the military budget if they did an audit of every dime spent for a 10-year period. They wouldn't be able to account for all of it because there's money that goes to things that are not accounted, and you can't see it anyway. They're not accounted. Yeah, it's just the money is gone and it's just not accounted. So you mean to tell me that you don't know you have a blank check in the Army, in the military? The military has a blank check.
Pretty much they do.
Of what? Whose money is this?
It's our tax money, man. Really, it ain't even money, man. It ain't even that, dude. We have a blank check. Look, we just say we doing this, that. No, we gonna print some more money and give it to y'all for these weapons that you're making us. That's what we do, man. It's all the money is the weapons, bro. Every country's what they're worth is how powerful they are weapons-wise.
I'm just saying, dude, they rose up in fucking arms about how, like, the fucking everybody's trying to give away all this money in these stimulus packages.
Well, yeah, because it's not about the debt.
Well, we're going to have debt, and we're going to have all this shit with our fucking stimulus money that they're giving us, and da-da. And it's like, all right, but they just lost $6.2 billion. That would have paid everybody a whole fucking $1,000.
Oh, yeah. But see, that's what I'm saying. They manipulate. It's like, oh, you should care about this over here because of this, and this, and then this over here. Oh, no, this ain't a big deal. But
I'm saying they're spending $20-30 billion a month in fucking Ukraine. Nobody's fucking stupid to this shit. They're expanding NATO in the middle of a war over there. And you know what, Ukraine, they need Ukraine to get to fucking Moscow. Everybody knows is you got to go through that side of the country, including Russia. That's why they keep their shit up there.
Yep.
And like the Kremlin's up here, where you got to fucking come through all of our terrain before you get up here to destroy our major metropolitan groups. Otherwise, it's a hell in land and everything else.
So let's move on to this one.
The whole reason is because they wanted to expand NATO. No, we're not going to expand NATO. Now you're fighting Ukraine. We're expanding NATO. Come on, man.
So we're going to move on to the next thing that happened while this was going on. Hunter Biden got a plea deal and pretty much gets a slap on his wrist. Now, before we go into this article right here, let me say this. Biden is what most people would call one of the most that are into guns would call one of the most and would be called one of the most anti-gun presidents ever. Now, he's got a lot of things he said. He's been very outspoken on taking certain weapons and all this other stuff. Now, my thing is, I get that Hunter Biden's your child, but this is wrong because you're being a hypocrite. And I'm going to call you out on it regardless who you are. Trump, even, call him out on his bullshit too. But it doesn't really matter. But United States President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, has agreed to a plea deal to 2 misdemeanor charges of willfully failing to pay income taxes and to enter into an agreement that could avert a conviction on a gun-related charge, according to court filings on Tuesday. Now, the gun-related charge was he is on video, as it has now been proven that he's done drugs on video. Crack cocaine to be exact, and he purchased a gun while on drugs. Now, not on him per se, but at around the same time, to where the question on the form that you have to fill out when you go purchase a gun, it made it to where he'd be guilty. And on top of that, it also violated some other part of that form too, to where it's supposed to get you 10 years in prison. Now, any one of us citizens, and I don't care what you vote like. It doesn't matter. Any one of us normal citizens are going to be sitting in prison, no questions asked, for 10 years unless we turn over on some major shit that's going to benefit them.
Or your dad's the president.
So, I'm sorry, but I would much rather and I'm just being honest here because I don't really look at debt the same way as everybody else does, but I think the tax evasion, there should be a punishment there, but I feel like the gun charge is the thing that should be more hit upon here, being as our president right now is so up in arms and ticked off about our gun rights and the things he's trying to do to screw with us, which, yes, he is taking a little bit of lessons from Donald Trump. It's just the truth. Bump stock ban and the damn brace ban are both 2 heads of the same damn dragon. I mean, they changed definitions to get what they wanted done instead of doing it legally and making it become law going through Congress. But any thoughts on this, though?
It makes it look useless, though. They know they can't get them. That's the whole point, dude. It's like they're going to come and they're going to try, and if you let them get an inch, they'll take a mile. So fuck them. And let's fix our society mentally.
Yes.
Let's work on the mental health of our children. Let's fix our school system so they're not built for a factory that doesn't fucking exist anymore, right? And let's do gun safety in fucking school, even if it's in elementary or middle schools. Like, you want to talk about transgender rights and this shit and those things. It's like you're introducing kids to ideas and thoughts that maybe they're not sure or understand, right? But yet you can't introduce them to their right to bear arms and what that means and the responsibility that you're supposed to take during that process.
Right.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
So you want to fix the problem, that's how you fix it. You don't fix it by taking guns away. All you do there is compound your problem to a different one.
Yep.
Right? You make it easier for the government to do what they want to do.
And me personally,
not just our government, any government.
Yeah. We both love our Second Amendment. I'm more into guns than you are, but we both love our Second Amendment. We know what it's there for.
The safest city in
my
fucking...
thing is...
safest city in fucking Georgia, in our area, is Kennesaw.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're required by the city ordinance to have a firearm if you're head of household. Now, does that mean everybody... They don't enforce the law and go around knocking on doors, making sure everybody's carrying a pistol and shit? Right? They don't even make sure you're all registered with a firearm before you can buy theirs. None of that. However, the city is the safest in our area. It has one of the biggest colleges that is in the Atlanta area, next to Georgia Tech.
Yep.
And that's saying something.
Yep.
And it's because everybody knows that that's the rules there. So it's kind of like, you're taking a real chance in that area to break in somebody's house or to do something you shouldn't be doing.
I'm just saying, what I was going to say is that we love our Second Amendment. Guys, if you like our Second Amendment, and I know there's a lot of people out there that do, okay, that understand why we have our constitutional rights and why these certain rights are there for us. I know that there's a lot of you that think that it should be amended, but to those that don't, This is why you can't just be ignoring things. Things like this are going on. I don't feel like personally being a part of the gun community that we should be shrugging off that this guy's going to get a slap on the wrist just because he's the president's son. But I'm also not naive enough to know that any parent's going to do what they can for their kid and save their butt if they can. And if you, the president, can pardon them or do whatever, then, and that's why they would bring these charges up now, why his dad's president versus while someone else is president.
Wait a minute. Now, this is the other side to that too. Is like, okay, so yeah, it may be a little bit lesser of a charge, but in that, right, the pardon ability may not even exist, right?
Yeah.
Because of it not being a federal crime. If it's you see what I'm saying?
It is a federal crime.
Okay, but what I mean is there's specific criteria in which he can pardon them, and there's other criteria that it just doesn't apply.
Okay.
You can't just pardon them for fucking every parking ticket they've ever had. You got to pay those. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, those are things that are built in that law that don't allow for some of that.
Yeah.
So, if they really are being impartial, they're saying, hey, the best thing to do to actually get this person for the most, like, we know what we can get them for and how we can actually tie them up a little bit. This is the easiest and best path, right?
Once this stuff gets done with and this is all settled in stone, whatever's going to happen with this whole situation, I want to find out if he still somehow has his right to buy a firearm. Because here's the thing, he at least should lose that, and it would not harm him in a way of being injured because he is the president's son, so he will have Secret Service security, the best of the best for the rest of his life.
Sure.
So he doesn't actually have a reason to have a gun. I mean, I'm just saying, because I'm sorry, if I had security, this is pretty much what a lot of gun people say to people that are against gun rights like that. Like, look, man, then you should, if you want to tell me I can't carry a gun in your establishment, then if anything happens to me, you should be held reliable for my safety. I mean, it's how people live. And people are like, oh, that's nonsense. No, it's not. Because I feel like, personally, my life and Zach's life and all of our family and every one of you out there, our lives matter just as much as the President of the United States does.
Sure.
That's my honest opinion. And it doesn't matter whether or not I like that president or not.
I mean, for me, it means more. My family's lives mean way more than the president's.
Well, absolutely.
I mean, and I'm not trying to say...
people act like it doesn't with ignoring things like this.
No, I mean, and that's the side that, like I said, I mean, we can get on the gun topic at any point because the reality of it is that, whether you own a gun or not, the Constitution is pretty clear.
Yeah.
Our country is pretty clear, right? And once again, I don't think that solving the mass shooting problem is something you do by taking guns away. I think it's something you do by education and by really helping the mental health of our society. Because really what's going on is social media has corrupted a lot of things.
Dude, people are dying jumping off boats right now.
Well, you have to understand,
because their TikTok video told them to.
So in my lifetime, we've gone from having beepers, right?
Yep.
And I'm saying, like, before beepers, there was nothing. Cordless phones was the biggest shit. So from cordless phones to what we do now, to having a computer in your pocket, right?
Yep.
Like, it's transitioned extremely quickly in a short period of time for me and for everyone else on the planet. So the reality of it is that high-speed internet came into play after 9/11. So we didn't even have the ability to look at half the shit we can look at now since 9/11.
Yep.
So, I mean, in the last 20 years, there's a lot of shit that's gone down, dude.
Yeah, we're able to keep up with things a lot better. Whether or not we do or not, it's our own choice, but yeah.
But equally, we're also able to keep up with a bunch of nonsense just as quick.
So true.
Right? So you can get trapped on a nonsense fucking train.
So many nonsense articles I have went through, and then you finally get to what you're actually looking for.
If everything you look at, though, is telling you that, I mean, it's easy to believe some of this shit. And at the same token, it's like, okay, so we're waking up to the fact that everything is bullshit. Now, I know when I was a kid, Saturday Night Live made a fucking joke about everything I seen on TV is true, right? Like, that's hilarious of a thought. Everything you see on TV is true. Everything you see on the internet is true. Everything. It's like, oh, it's 100% true. I've seen it on the internet. No, bullshit. It's 100% bullshit. You seen it on the internet? I don't trust it. Now, let's figure it out. Like, we can go down a rabbit hole, and then we'll get a consensus. Like I said, 4 or 5 articles, you get the real truth of what really happened and all the other
And you
bullshit.
can normally sum it up in a couple lines.
And then you'll figure out the rest of it is just, like, placating to, like, this anger that we all supposedly are carrying around with us about life and society and how tough everything needs to be.
So, Speaking of bullshit, like here goes another one, man. Like, and I'm telling you, I've
This
read
is all
like,
during the sub.
this is
too,
all
right?
during the
Okay.
sub. Okay, it cracks me up how much of this stuff. So FBI whistleblowers are coming up missing. Now I want y'all to just take that headline right there and think about that and what. Okay, well, some of us, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of us, because I've seen a lot of stuff about FBI, you know, going through court and stuff like that for different things and like that. So, well, whistleblowers coming up missing. But then when you get into the article here,
that's fucking true.
So it says here, unfortunately, we cannot track down the informant. Kentucky Republican told Fox News Sunday morning, features host Maria, whatever. We are hopeful that the informant is still there, and the whistleblower knows the informant, and the whistleblower is very credible. So when you keep going on this article, it says 9 out of the 10 people that were identified that had very good knowledge with respect to the Bidens, they're one of 3 things, okay? Now remember, they said they came up missing. Listen to these three things, though. They're one of 3 things. 9 out of 10, guys, okay? They're either currently in court. That doesn't sound like you're missing. They're either currently in jail. That doesn't sound like you're missing. Or they are currently missing. But
Right,
a bunch of that 9 out of 10 is in court or was in jail to where they weren't able to make their. Yes.
The 10th
one.
guy is
That
out.
one guy that was in the
10th guy
first
is
quote
out.
that I read
Right.
from.
And is he missing or did he just?
But the
fucking
way
bail?
that they headline it,
Sure,
bro,
right.
like-
I mean, and that we've observed that in many ways, man. Like they've been doing this forever. It's like whatever they want you to buy into, but really it's our own fault, man. Because you know why? Because fucking we click on the shit that says that.
Yes.
Like nobody's gonna click on it if you're like, yeah, they made a mistake on guesstimating the amount of money tanks cost at the Pentagon.
Right.
Everybody's like, yeah, fuck that article.
Right.
Maybe like some, diehard, military guys, retirees, whatever, may read the article. But other than that, you're not gonna get a hit. So
Yep.
why not have everyone hit on it and make it clickbait? And at the end of the day, not really tell anybody anything and get them all riled up because most people don't go any further than that.
Yep. So
they read the article and the article said this and that's what happened.
Yeah.
And they'll fight you for it. They will tell
they'll
you
take that
you're an
headline that they
idiot,
see on
you don't know
TikTok and leave it
nothing,
at that. And
and
leave
they
it at
won't
that.
read it. They won't even read the article.
Hey guys, I read these articles before getting on here. We're just, we're just summing up stuff and just,
Just trying to catch you up on the
just
fact that
catching you
media
up,
is
man.
full of shit,
This would take
and
forever if I read the whole entire article.
Everybody,
on
but
everyone.
everything you see except on YouTube. YouTube is great. They are not a problem source of media, but everything else is garbage.
Yep. So the
Shout out YouTube. One
the
time,
next thing is a little bit strange, but what's weird to me is why it would even be part of the conspiracy that they did it during that week during the Titan sub to cover up things, which is kind of the implementation that some people are trying to do. And that's the Durham report. Now, we went over the Durham report when it got released, okay?
Right.
And we showed y'all video and everything to this and breakdowns of this and went over what was found, all right? And what we found was pretty much it was nonsense found on both sides, and then there was very limited of anything worthwhile on both sides.
Right.
Like that's what
Nothing
we found.
new. Not
And we
much
looked
new.
at CNN reporting on it, Fox reporting.
Right.
We went back and
Wasn't
forth.
a lot of new
The total opposite ends and stuff, and it was just a bunch of garbage that was added in between, just like these articles.
Right.
But they, the congressional hearing for it was that week regarding the Russia hoax, and I think it's interesting. I'm not going to really worry about reading this article. There's not really much that I'm really trying to hit on. It's the same stuff that we discussed in that video, where pretty much what I just broke down for you guys. But it is a little bit strange that happened conveniently at the exact same time. I'll say that. I mean, everyone just take things for how you want to, but I think it personally that's a little bit strange. Then next, let's go ahead and move on. Oh, this one's one I was looking for. I want to hear your opinion on this, bro. The USDA approved sale of lab-grown meats from 2 companies, both Bill Gates is a big part of. Yes, the guy that's buying insane amounts of farmland.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
dude, and yes, this is legit shit. This really did happen. I have seen so many things you can come across for this. It's so many things, but.
yeah, I mean, I have mixed
don't know,
feelings.
man.
I got mixed feelings on it, right? Like, okay, so straight up, it's like this. Of course, when you have Bill Gates money, right, you're going to buy as much. This guy's not a dummy. Everybody got to admit that guy's not stupid. His whole entire business was built on basically nothing but software.
Yeah.
That he didn't even write. Somebody else wrote, and he bought from them and then resold for way more.
Yep.
Okay, so he's also equally very much involved in trying to, like, solve really big problems, so to speak.
I don't know if he's trying to solve them personally, bro.
Well,
my personal opinion, I don't know if he's actually trying to solve anything.
That's what he says he's doing.
I know that's what he claims he's doing. That's
so
not what I think.
whatever he is doing or not doing, I don't know. I'm saying if I just take him at his word, he's doing these philanthropy things, right? I would say he realizes that there is going to be a food shortage real soon in the world. It's happening right now. Ukraine feeds a lot of people that ain't getting fed because it's been multiple years.
You do know about all the food processing plants, the many more than normal that burnt down the last couple of years.
It's like this, dude. The guy has gone after a lot of other things too. Toilets, like a bunch of shit. Vaccines, toilets, things that all these countries that we really don't have a perspective on, right?
Yeah.
Now, if it's cover for something bigger or badder, I don't know. I mean, I'm not one that believes in like the nefarious, like, evil doers in the world so much.
Right.
Right? Because there's too much bullshit around, right? Like how bad some of these people are, including Donald Trump.
Yep.
Not a big fan of Donald Trump, but I don't think he's nearly the villain that everybody makes him out to be in some senses. And then in other ways, I'm scared to shit of him, right? Because if he is any of those things and he is nefarious, then we can all be in a lot of trouble in that aspect. So, in those things, it's like I feel a certain way about. But for majority of it, right, I take them at their word. Like, okay, you're saying this. Politicians consistently lie to us, so it's easy to get to a place where you're like, you're a fucking piece of shit. I don't like this guy, right? It's not that I don't like your whole party, dude. It's just you specifically, I think, are a fucking idiot. Yes. Because I'm tired of you giving me a line of bullshit, and then a week later you're saying something else. Like, fuck you, Ted Cruz. Like, fuck that. Like, you're sucking Donald Trump's cock while he's calling your fucking wife a dog. Like, fuck it. To me, that's not authentic.
He totally did that. Totally did that.
It's not good. It's not like I don't like those people. Because of things like that, not because they are Republican or not Democrat or, you see what I mean?
Yep.
It's like the guy's gonna show themselves. So in politics, it's easy because they just consistently give us so much bullshit. They gotta get caught in some of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, stop telling us all the bullshit. I really don't care about the extra bullshit. I want you to legalize marijuana. I think it's stupid for you to have a federal law against legalization
fucking retarded,
of marijuana,
bro.
Every state has some type of positive form of it.
Legalize it.
The whole country has it, dude. Like 37 out of 50 states. Who are we waiting on? Like,
dude,
come on, man.
This is nothing beside. They just want to lock people up for a plant.
It's
like
ridiculous.
A plant. This is bullshit.
But I mean, even by their own
stupid
standards, whether you want it, you think it's okay or not, doesn't even matter. Like, to me, by their own standard, it clearly has medicinal use. It's been proven over and over again. All of these states elected the medical side of it, and you still are acting like, oh, we can't do anything. Like, man, just get off your ass and do something.
Yep.
Tax the shit out of it, dude. Make some more money for our debt, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call it, man. Build the roads, do the schools with the money that comes from it.
Yep. All I can say about the food thing before we move on my opinion on the food, on the USDA and this lab-grown meat is this. Look, I know for a fact that other countries, when you look at the ingredients inside of all the products that they buy that are supposed to be the same as the products that we're buying, they are not the same. They add all kinds of stuff into America's food that is not allowed in other countries' foods and stuff like that. I know that they have. Dude. I know that they have their reasons and that they give their reasons for this and everything. But my thing is that if you can't get this right without putting things in food that screws people up, why should I trust you with meat when all you got to do is let the ranchers do their thing? And I know they're gonna have all the vegans out there. They're gonna say that this is wrong. Well, I ain't trying to argue with you on that.
I'm not getting into that.
I'm not arguing with you on that.
I'll say this though. I will say this: we cannot 100% guarantee you it is not a good idea for us to try to travel the universe on a spaceship with a cow.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So
I didn't ever think of that. See, I never thought about that.
Right, we do need a way as a civilization to be able to supplement those things
Holy
in some
shit.
shape. So
This is why we tell y'all to listen to us, man. Check us out, because like you'll learn. Like, dude, I learned things. He learned. Like we.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole
I would have
point,
never
right?
thought about
But
that
yeah,
point. That is such a good point.
That's where my mind goes, because that's the whole the evolution is we got to get off the planet at some point. We know that's coming eventually, and
Holy
we're
crap.
explorers. So
dude, that's gonna be spinning in my head, dude. Like after this conversation, that thought right there on that topic right there. So, all right, man. So this one didn't happen. Okay, now we're gonna move on to just a couple more things real quick and wrap this up, because it is pretty much time. But I did want to get to this, and for those of y'all that stuck around, man, hit that subscribe button and let's just see how this topic goes.
Yeah.
So. I don't know if you know, but those of y'all that don't know, they found cocaine inside the White House. Okay, around that time, Hunter Biden was at the White House. They didn't even do. They're not releasing. None of that's released, dude. Whenever they ask that one Janine, she never gives answers to anything, bro. I've been telling you this ever.
But I'm just saying, I mean, like, what the fuck, dude? I would imagine there's a whole bunch of people in the White House.
So they found cocaine in the White House. Okay, check it out. So earlier, I think that we had mentioned something about, who else is going to be president if you impeach Biden? Oh, Kamala. That's who's up next, right? Well, so part of the press is leaning towards blaming Kamala Harris over the coke found at the White House.
They just went right for the black lady.
Right for Hunter
go?
Biden's dealing with some shit right now, so we can't hit on him now. Like, he's already dealing with some shit.
You can't throw it on Kamala. There's 90
you gotta
white
spread
guys.
that shit out, bro.
Dude, there's at least 100 white guys in there that could be on cocaine.
I know, right?
At least. There's at least 100
We
of
already
them
know a bunch of our presidents were.
Yeah,
we already know that.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been Biden's, but if that's the case, he's not using it right, because he's still slow.
I don't know, man.
Without it, but
guys,
still.
seriously, if you're still here, go down in the comments. Tell me what your opinion
that's
is.
some shit, dude. I would never give it to her anyway. I don't think she would do it. I think it's more likely that it would be like one of the aides, right? Or just like, hell, even there's a lot of people it could be. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it there.
It's right around the corner from the press secretary's like holding place where they stage and stuff like that.
But it's like, why is that a news? Like, how does that get to the news? You see what I mean?
The thing is, that if they ever found cocaine in the White House when Trump was there, dude, that shit would have been all over the news, bro.
But how? That's what I'm trying to get at, dude.
One of his sons been getting fucked.
But I mean, how does that get out? Is what I mean. You don't just pick the bag up and throw it in the trash. Like,
honestly,
this is the government.
I don't recall how it got out, man.
Make this story that
I
big.
just know this story has been all over the damn place in the last 5 days. It's ridiculous.
Like, yeah, look at this.
Yeah, look at this. And also, like, what?
Don't look over here.
I just think that Hunter Biden being there at the same time is awfully.
Sure, it's his shit, because he's that. I mean, come on,
I think
man.
it's awfully strange.
And Hunter,
we don't know for sure. This just
Hunter,
us talking
if you're
about
clean
it.
and shit, dude, like your friend was at the White House.
Yeah,
Just
you done
admit it,
brought
like,
the wrong
happened,
friend or something.
Like, you don't even. How'd you get through security? You are security. Maybe it's the Secret Service. Maybe it wasn't even cocaine, dude. Did they test this shit?
So let's go ahead and finish up with this one, because I don't think there's really much to say on this. There might be. I mean, I don't know. Let's see. For the last 2 years in a row, the Army is 15,000 under on recruiting goals. 15,000 seems like a pretty big number to me. I know there was last time I looked it up. I'll put it down here. I think it was like 1.5 million or 2 million that are a part of the armed services as a whole. So we're talking about just the Army here. So I don't really know what the numbers are for the Army. I'll look it up and I'll put it up on the screen for you guys, and find out if this. We'll find out together. When I look it up and I air this video, whether or not it seems like a big number for the Army. It does. In hindsight, 15,000 people is a lot of people.
I would say totally that to be honest with you, that's more of a statement of like our patriotism.
Yeah,
because I mean, Americans have been.
What about if you trust your leader at the time?
No, well, I mean, I think our Americans have always been very much like. It don't matter who the leader is. If we need to stand up for our country or our rights, we will do it. Okay. We have proven over and over again that we'll die for what we believe in, and willingly go to war Like
over
after
things that we
9/11
don't agree with.
After 9/11, they had more recruits than they've ever had.
Yep.
Storming, people 40 years old trying to get in the military. Like, I'm ready to fucking go get these fuckers. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Okay, so, I mean, as Americans as a total, it speaks to our, like, this is what I was saying before, right? You're going to have, you want to take guns away. In reality, you're not teaching what our country is, stands for, stands on, our belief system. You're not teaching that to anyone. You're actually trying to constantly contradict the country that we created 200 years ago that's made it this far by living this kind of bound together. Even though we've been through our own stuff, we've always still handled our stuff.
Yep.
And people leave us alone because of that, right? But at the same token, that's like, we're not instilling that in our group. We're not instilling that if somebody has a problem with you, there's other ways to handle it than shooting them.
Yes.
And shooting them is actually the last thing that you ever do.
I think
right?
people need to get back to learn how to do this right here. Have a conversation and just speak to each other,
that's
man.
That's what I'm trying to say. So equally also, they're not patriots. There's a lot of people who aren't being patriotic. And they're not patriots because it's not being taught to them that way.
Yep.
So.
Well, guys, I think that's it for today. You all good, Zach?
Yeah, man, that's it.
Heck yeah, man. Guys, until next time.
Peace.